The Summit of the Americas held in Panama over the weekend provided the forum for the historic bilateral talks between the presidents of Cuba and the United States. But back here at home, the Cuban ambassador says he was pleased with the progress both countries are making to lift the decades-old embargo. He tells our Noel-Ferguson tonight that there is still more work to be done.
Not possible to have normal relations between the U.S. and Cuba until the embargo will be lifting.
Now, while the Summit of the Americas in Panama City was an historic one for the United States and Cuba, the Cuban ambassador to the Bahamas, His Excellency Ernesto Guzman, says there's still some challenges that the two countries have to work through.
Because people know that if they arrive by illegal means in the U.S., they have those kind of privilege that don't have the rest of the illegal migrants that come from all over around the world. So the question is that because the Cuban migrants are better than the rest of the migrants? It's not. It's because they want, or they have been trying to promote this kind of illegal migration, because at the end of the day they said, okay, look, the Cubans, they come from Cuba, they don't want their country, they don't like the government, so they are abandoning the country, and it is a political tool.
The Cuban ambassador referenced the wet foot, dry foot policy of the United States. Anyone who fled Cuba and entered the United States would be allowed to pursue residency a year later. Now, Ambassador Guzman says this also has an impact on the Bahamas as Cubans enter Bahamian waters in an attempt to reach the United States. Some Cuban nationals who entered the Bahamas illegally are currently in prison here, and in protest, they recently wired their mouths shut. The ambassador spoke to this issue, saying that addressing the law with the U.S. could help the migration problem.
They didn't arrive from Cuba. They arrived from a third country, in this case the U.S., so they're supposed to be repatriated to the U.S. This is another thing that we have to fix between Cuba and the U.S.
And according to Guzman, the challenges don't end there.
We hope that they will remove Cuba from the list of the states that sponsor terrorists. Guantanamo Bay in Cuba, this is a part of our territory, and right now it's a territory that is occupied by the U.S. because it's not possible to have normal relations if you occupied part of my territory.
Although U.S. President Barack Obama has discussed the possibility of that embargo lifted, the decision is not his alone to make. Guzman says lifting the embargo can also have economic benefits for the Bahamas, linking with Cuba as a multi-country destination. It's a story we'll bring to you in a later report. Noel-Ferguson, ZNS Network News.